born to a migrant family. He is part Malay, part Chinese, part Burmese, and part Indonesian. Isn't that interesting? Terry was raised in the affluent Brunei. He later spent his schooling years in the Penang, to which he called home. So he also learned the art of being streetwise in Penang. And he grew up to see so many things from interesting lenses. So Terry has also worked with many global names to help build their business across the world. His working life has been ever evolving, from employee to employer, from business owner to entrepreneur, and from a life of making money, a lot of money, to a life of a true humanitarian. So Terry, tell us more about your colorful background.
Thank you, Rosa. Thank you very much for having me on the show. Thank you. Yeah. Wow, where do I start? My colorful background will probably take a day to describe, but keep it very short because I think it's only 30 minutes. I live on a very simple principle that we have only one life, and our life here is to experience as much as possible. So I never say no to anything. So every step of the way, whether I was an employee, entrepreneur, whether I was employer, it was about the experience that I had, and it is always about making the best everything. So it doesn't matter whether I was making money or not making money. It was always about the best of it. And I think this is exactly what HWH world is all about. It's really interesting. So thank you very much for having me on the show.
Thank you for coming to our show. It is such a short notice, so we really appreciate your effort to make it here on our show. So Terry, as an adult, we are always helping about how we can help our youth and young people, especially in this pandemic, very difficult time. So, but you were talking about how youth can help humanity. So can you talk more about your view on this?
Absolutely. It is my passion. If you Google my name, you will link it to an organization called Humanity Inc. Foundation, which is based out of Australia. So the reason why we focus on that, and by the way, my TED Talk is about that, because in my TED Talk, I talk about how I believe that the only people in this world that will save humanity are the youth of today, the young people. Why?
Totally agree with you.
I mean, I'm approaching 60, I'll be 60 next year, and I realize that my generation has not done enough to preserve this planet for us to pass it on to the next generation. So, as a person, as an entrepreneur, I can't live in myself if I don't make a change, that I can't help the young people. So I've got 4 children, one of whom is only 10 years old, the oldest is 32. And I realized that, they have the right to live a beautiful life, the way we've led a beautiful life. So in our TED Talk, what I focused on was encouraging, motivating, and inspiring young people to get up and do something. So while I believe that everybody has a passion and can go out and do good things, but nobody can do good things without money. That is really essential. Not to say that money is everything, the be all and end all, but without funding, nothing moves. So my whole belief is that you need to create a way to merge the two, where somebody has a passion to help society or help humanity, but also give them the ability to make money. And the two come together, you have a very, very powerful unit. And this is what I believe HWH World is all about. And that's why I'm so excited to be on the show. I think it's coming Saturday to talk about moving everybody forward.
Yeah. Terry is going to have a show, an exclusive webinar with us. If you want to join his webinar with his exciting talk, just contact us and we will send you the link for free. So Terry, I heard amidst your busy schedule, you have set up, just now you mentioned your Australian foundation. So can you tell us more about your foundation?
Yes, okay, allow me to. So I've got a foundation and a business that's related to the foundation. Let me just talk about the business first. So the business we're in is we acquire technologies in the world that are radical meaning they're brand new. Nobody's seen these technologies before, but they must be technologies that make the world more sustainable. So there are 6 different pillars we focus on. Of course, the most important, because we believe that the world cannot work if you don't have energy. in power generation. So, I mean, like us now having this wonderful Zoom meeting, it's not possible if there is no power powering our computers and our servers and all that. So if the world is going to go forward, then we must have power. The only problem is that for hundreds of years, we have been stuck to rely on oil and gas and other fossil fuels like coal. Why is it that we can't change? Yes, we've got now solar plants, solar power plants, we've got wind plants. All these power generation are sustainable, but they are not as good as some of the ones that are in existence. So we acquire these technologies and we bring it to people. Now, the way we do it is that these technologies go to help people so that they can change their lives. So the only difference is that while we believe in changing, say, a group of indigenous people somewhere in Ecuador, for instance, we'll put these power plants in there, and these power plants generate huge amount of electricity, uses no fuel, creates no carbon impact. There is no carbon emission, and they're the greenest technology in the world. So now we're changing the lives of these indigenous people, and so we can actually see them, prosper. At the same time, the beauty of it all is that we do not put this in for free. There is still a charge. They still have to pay for electricity. The only difference is that we will charge them a minimal rate, which is very cheap. And the reason why we're doing this is because we want to make sure that these people have power, and it's 100% clean power, but at the same time, we're still making money out of it, but in a decent way. So with the money that we create, we take this money and we create our CSR project, which is where the foundation comes in. So the foundation, what do we do at the foundation? We actually do these talks in schools and colleges around the world. We've only started with one country, but we're going to expand around the world. So what do we do at these talks? Now, these talks are exactly 1 hour long. They're not designed for people to sort of rack their brains. It is designed for us to talk directly to their hearts and not to their brains. And I'll tell you why.
Keep it simple.
Yes, keep it simple because we are talking to kids as young as 4 all the way up to 24 years old. So 4 to 24. So obviously, the way we talk to them will be different depending on the age. But the context of what we talk about is exactly the same. Number one, we show them the issue that the world is facing today. That wakes a lot of them up. Said, oh my goodness, we have so many issues. Climate change, we've got injustice, we've got people who are poor. How do we help change the world? Yeah. So then we show them the various technologies that we represent that are already providing solutions for the world that are fully sustainable. And the reason why we're showing these technologies is because we want them to understand that these technologies already exist today. It is not some crazy idea of the future. But the mass media, as well as social media, will never tell you that. Because the social media and mass media like to keep you in the dark and like to keep you in fear. So when we share this amazing information, the kids are all very excited and they're like, oh my goodness, this technology is amazing. So we also
now
show
I
them,
know the truth.
it is, exactly, they know the truth. But what's even interesting is that many of these technologies are invented or have come up by young people. They're not people my age. They're amazingly young people who come up with fantastic solutions that are changing the world. And when we show these young people this in schools and colleges, they're inspired. And so I questioned them. I said, look, there is one other example of a kid, and she's only 4.5. She lives in America, but she's already changing the lives of people in Africa. Remember, she's a 4-year-old in America, but she's changing the lives of people in Africa. Now, what are you guys doing in school? See, you don't need to wait for yourself to be graduated before you start changing the world. You can do it at 4.5 years old. So you can do anything. You provide.
I believe if young people or even very young kids, if they are inspired, they can do so much.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's the basis of humanity. And that's the reason why we share. We've got 6 different pillars, but I don't have time to talk about all the 6 different pillars. So we start with just power generation. Just power generation alone will already radicalize their thinking, understanding that, wow, this technology seems like some crazy science fiction, but it's not. It's here. It's already invented. They're out there, and it's designed to change the world. So you don't need to use fuel anymore. This system is so clean that it doesn't even require batteries, which are not very clean. As you know, batteries are made of rare earth, and when you need to dispose the batteries, you pollute the world. Yes, absolutely. So this is exactly the basis of humanity. We want to change the world because we are also getting them to understand that they are empowered to change the world even when they're young, so that by the time they become adults and they go into business or into the workforce, they can make more conscious decisions, no longer stuck to the old paradigm of, oh yes, I still need to put fuel in my car. No, all that has changed, and you need to get the next generation to change now, because otherwise the leaders of today will still be stuck where we are today. We want the leaders of tomorrow to already have all this information and be inspired to make that change. And that's
when they grow it as a habit from young, so they will follow this path to be green, to be equal, friendly. I think that is a really good motivation that you are giving to the young people. Okay.
Absolutely. And the reason why we target the young people is simply And when she did that, she realized that this was one thing that brought her so much happiness. Not the money, not the designer bag. It changed her life.
Yeah,
and that's why this
her life
exactly.
Totally.
And this is why this woman was so moved with what we're trying to do with young people. So there you go. So you can't have one without the other.
Yeah, especially young people. We see so many young people nowadays. They cannot find the direction. All the violence, all the unhappy happening in the world. I think most of the time, the main cause of it is because young people do not have the direction. They don't know what to do next. Right? So I think you come in contact with many of these kind of young people. Right? So in the local society, what do you think you are doing? What can you help the local young people?
Yeah. So for us, we are always looking at in our 6 pillars that we have for humanity. In the last pillar, I won't go through all 6, but the last pillar, which is our latest pillar, is very important, very poignant to HWH world. Our last pillar, number 6, is focusing on being financially independent. And this is what we're trying to help young people. Now, I have 4 children, and my oldest son, who's now 32 years old, when he got married, it was impossible for him to afford to have a home, And so it was very critical for the parents to be able to afford to at least put a down payment down or even buy a house outright. But not many people can afford to do that. Majority of people can't. So what's going to happen? So we are looking at creating an income stream for young people so that they can be independent right off the time they leave college or leave the university. And I'll tell you why it's so important. It's simply because with the pandemic, you can see millions of people across the world are losing their jobs. They're taking pay cuts. Those entrepreneurs have closed down. So where's your income coming from? So we need to find ways and means for people to earn money legally, obviously, in a smart way using technology and using a way to interface, but also in a kind of business that has a way of helping other people, because that's the way you get happiness. Because just making money for yourself, it's fine, but when you are able to help others make money and create wealth and happiness for them, then everything changes. And that's why we are very excited to work with HWH World.
Yeah, when we talk about financial independence, we always heard in the market that people are doing something trying to get quick money. Right? They want to get rich fast. So that is the kind of financial independence that they fall into. But with the right guidance, with the right direction, I think, like you say, HWH, Health, Wealth, Happiness World, and I know a prestigious man called Mr. Chan Ham Pai. He has the power, he has the ability to lead young people on the right track. Right. So I think if you are having some program that are helping young people and even helping a lot of adults, it's very sad that even a lot of adults are losing their job and losing their income. Right. So if there's anything that we can share on our voice channel or on other channel in media, maybe we can share them all. Right? We have a young digital entrepreneurs group on Facebook, which we try to get powerful people in and create some opportunity, some job opportunity and income opportunity for people who need an income, who need an opportunity now. So maybe later on we can collaborate on something, Terry.
Yeah. Certainly. Yeah, we're very happy to do it.
Yeah, I think that is a really good thing that if we're talking about earning an income, what do you advise our young people to do before they go into any opportunity?
Okay, this is very simple. I'll give you an example of how the mind, body, and action works. The mind, body, and soul is an alignment of 3 things, and this is very critical. When I was a young man, I wanted to join a particular international consultancy firm. And I faced a lot of challenges because, number one, I didn't have a tertiary education. I was a dropout from 5th form, high school. And so every time I applied, it was always a no, because, they said the prerequisite is a degree, and I didn't have a degree.
Yeah.
But every day without fail, I would always think, I want to join that company. I want to join that company. And every night, I would actually go to this company and look through the glass doors and say, sit down in that chair and be part of this company. This is after hours. Everybody had gone home. I will do this every day, right? And then when there was an opening in terms of a potential vacancy, I would write in. Of course, what else? Every time I write in, it would be a rejection letter. And this happened once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. And any typical person would give up. But I was so passionate about wanting to join this company, and I kept writing it. And on the 4th try, they actually replied and said, Mr. Terry Ghani, we have noticed that you keep writing in again and again, even though we said no. So we like your perseverance. So can you please come in for an interview? So I went for an interview, and this was not one interview, this stretch interview 3 times over 3 months. And finally, they gave me an appointment letter saying, we're delighted to give you a job, but you have exactly 6 months to prove yourself. And if you don't make it to our expectations, we have to release you and you can't sue us for it. And I stayed with that company for 10 years. So the point being, this is why when you put your passion, your mind, your soul into something, you must take action. So my action was going there, looking at the office, wanting to be inside there, and continually doing this over and over again. Now, human beings, if you understand that all of us are energy, and if our energy is aligned in a positive way, we attract, like the law of attraction, all the positive energy towards you. Whatever you want, you will get. But you must be consistent. I had a French partner many years ago when I was working in Vietnam, and he said a really important thing. 100% of people who win the lottery, the lottery, are people who already bought a lottery ticket. What does that tell you? A lot of people say, oh, I never win the lottery. I never win lottery. Yes, but have you ever bought the ticket? If you haven't bought the ticket, that's not what you win. Yeah, so it's important. Exactly, Rosa, just taking action. So thinking about it, meditating about it, wishing about it, praying about it, makes no sense unless you take action.
Totally agree with you. Perseverance is the thing that most of us are, if you complain about not being successful, not having the opportunity, just check your list, whether you have taken action or not. So I'm sure the company that employ you must have noticed you have been peeping through the glass window all the while.
Thankfully, that was before CCTV cameras, so they probably didn't see me. As a matter of fact, it was only recently we met up as a group of alumni from the same company, and I shared this story with them, and all of them were shocked because they never knew. They never knew that's how I got into the company. And these were also my bosses, my previous bosses. That was quite funny.
Yeah, it is really a pity that a lot of young people, they could be very creative, could be very powerful, very capable, but they just don't like to study. Sometimes they just cannot get through the classroom life. So a lot of them drop out like you. So a lot of them are not open to opportunity. So I really grateful for other 3, Alex Ong. He has opened this NGO. It's called Master. Inside, we have a lot of skill-based training, a lot of skill-based development. So helping especially this type of people who do not study well, who do not want to study, or who has given up the chance to study in their earlier part of life. And now, as you say, they feel not equipped with the right qualification. So if you are in this category, please come and look for us. We have this kind of courses which are skill-based, but still university certified. So instead of getting a university degree before, you can get it now, even without prerequisites that like SPM or STPM. So just contact us, and we will be, doing a lot of this kind of courses and a lot of this promotion. In the near future, we are connecting with over 40, 50 university already in pushing and promoting these courses. So Terry, if you have anybody in this category, ask them to, just look for us, and we will find a course and that they will be interested in, because it's from all walks of life, all industry. It could be like film making, it could be like a beauty line, or even acupuncture, something like that, which are hands-on. So they can do a lot of things, even without a degree, even without a diploma. In the early part of your life, you now can still do a lot of things. So everyone out there, especially young people, just don't give up. Learn from our guru here, Terry. So he has been persistent, and he has been, determined. So he got the things that he wanted in life. Right.
Well, thank you for sharing that. That's wonderful news.
Yeah. So today we thank you very much, Terry, for coming to our show, and we are looking forward to meet you in the Saturday webinar. Right. So everybody, please contact me if you need the ticket to go into that webinar. So to all our valued viewers, we will have Ginny Wong talking about how to be a master online tutor at 4:30 later on. So we'll see you all later. Thank you for spending time with us, Terry. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.